Go, go, go.
TYT Sports broadcasting live from Viva Las Vegas after arguably the best fight in the history of boxing. Well, on paper it was said to be the best fight, but a unanimous points decision in favour of Floyd Money Mayweather, a defensive mastermind, another example of why he is the best defensive fighter in the history of boxing, arguably, and just a great overall performance from him, and he wins the fight, silences the critics arguably, and poses the question of another May pipe. We'll talk about that briefly later on. Jason, what do you think about the fight in general?
Well, first of all, as a longtime boxing fan and boxing enthusiast, nothing beats the hype that went around this fight. And we've been live here from Vegas this whole weekend, and there's something special in the air, in the atmosphere, that we haven't seen in Vegas ever before, at least in our lifetimes. But when it comes to the fight, as you just said it, probably the greatest defensive fighter we'll ever see, because Mayweather, after round 7, easily controlled that fight, and he worked his jab like no other. And we've talked with Britton Harden, our boxing analyst, and we've talked with Shane Faison from Fight Tips, another boxing analyst and MMA analyst. And when it came to this fight, we wanted to predict what could happen. And the easy decision was, Mayweather on a decision. Well, there's a reason for that. There was a reason Mayweather was minus 200 going into today, because he was most likely going to win this fight. Pacquiao needed a knockdown or a knockout to even be considered. And after round, I want to say 6 or 7, it was Mayweather all the way through. He worked his shoulder. He didn't let Pacquiao come in close and turtle. It really was, I thought, a special fight, even though some fans may look at this and go, oh, they danced too much.
Yeah, well, some people will talk about the dancing around, but one thing that I noticed as much, and I tweeted out, is that Pacquiao, when he got into those combinations, he was hitting air. Like, Mayweather was rolling those punches. They were not hurting him. He said, basically, this is not hurting me. He was telling him straight up, this wasn't. And there was fans, one thing that the commentator said is that do not judge this fight by your ears. Judge it by your eyes. Because if you judge it by your ears, as soon as Pacquiao sneezes, people will go crazy and start thinking that this is in Pacquiao's favor. He had a couple of punches that landed on Mayweather and took him back a little bit. Mayweather, being the unbelievable defensive fighter that he is, just tightens up, just doesn't let him get anything for free. And those when he tightened up, Pacquiao started throwing punches like 5, 6, 7, 8, wearing himself out. So towards the end of the fight, he had nothing in the tank anymore. He was throwing some loose punches, and Mayweather was just rolling them, no problem, to the point that, as you said, 8, 9, 10 rounds, you're thinking it's not in doubt. Unless there's a random knockout or Mayweather slips and injures himself, that's the only way this fight's going the other way. And that's exactly what Mayweather wanted. He played right into his hands, and it was a successful retaining of the title for one of the best fighters we've ever seen.
I mean, a title holder of 5 different weight classes, 49-0. When it comes to Mayweather in that fight, another observation that I had, outside of just a commenter saying, if you're going by your ears, like you just mentioned, of course, the crowd was for Pacquiao. Actually, there was a Twitter poll that said 60% of Twitter wanted Pacquiao to win that fight. But the crowd and Twitter just did not understand that Mayweather is just too good defensively. And on top of that, he adjusts. By the time Pacquiao adjusted and learned that Mayweather was going to turtle up and take his rapid-fire shots to the body and the head, it was too late. Mayweather was already a step ahead of him. I feel at that point, round 5, round 6, Mayweather knew exactly what to do to go toe-to-toe for the next 6 rounds, work his jab, push Pacquiao back, keep the distance, use your reach. It just seemed to me, towards those later rounds, that Mayweather was in complete control, which is obviously why the judges saw accuracy will always beat out quantity.
Yeah. Absolutely, and now the question that everyone has in their heads, will we see a rematch? We had a representative on, one of the organisers of the fight in general. Previously, you can check that clip out. He said that, mark his words, September in Texas for some reason. He said it in one of the big stadiums. He talked about how he thinks Maypac 2 will be happening. I know as a neutral fan of boxing, I would love to see it. There's something in the air, as you said, around here that just makes this fight seem so much more special than anything I've ever experienced in my life. Being a neutral boxing fan, I would love to see it, but I just don't know what else Manny Pacquiao can throw at Floyd Mayweather to change the outcome of the next fight.
I think Mayweather wins the next fight, if there is a next fight. It just seems like Pacquiao gave the best he possibly could in those first 5 rounds. Credit to Pacquiao, because he won a few of those rounds, and he rightfully won a few of those rounds, landing those body shots, landing his head shots. He just could not get that left hook there. He couldn't get his left jab down, work his strong side. All those people who said Mayweather cannot beat a southpaw. Well, he just destroyed a southpaw, at least for the second half of that fight. Now, the one thing I need to mention, MGM Grand Garden Arena is roughly, what, 20,000 capacity? The stadium where they allegedly will be holding this next fight, Maypac 2, if it does happen, Dallas Cowboys Stadium there. That's 100,000 people on their feet to watch it. Could you imagine with 80,000 more?
Yeah, and that's what happens in the UK. They have all these fightings in the stadiums, which is something which is just adds to the magnitude of the fight, and I would love to see that as a whole. But from TYT Sports, it was easy money from us. We had our predictions from the start. We said that Floyd Money Mayweather would take the decision by points, unanimous decision, and he made us some easy money there. But there was a lot of Pacquiao fans out there who believed that he had enough to win this fight, but unfortunately for them, Floyd Mayweather, it just proves once more why he should be, if not already, considered as one of the best pound-for-pound fighters of all time.
1,000% agreed.
So we want to know what you guys think. Leave your comments in the section below about the fight. Was it a great fight? Did it flatter to deceive maybe? Was it a memorable night? If you want to check out my attire, thanks to Combatant Gentlemen for providing this suit for this magnificent occasion. Check out all their information in the description below. Come back to TYT Sports and subscribe, as we will be covering more of arguably the best fight in the world between two of the best fighters ever. Come back again.